Liv Golf and the PGA Tour's merger move left fans confused, but nobody deserved a warning more than Rory Mcilroy and Tiger Woods. They fought tooth and nail defending the PGA through every messy chapter of this saga. So why were they shut out, kept in the dark? Were they ever given a real explanation after the announcement? Stick around to catch every detail in this video, as the tension between the PGA Tour and Liv Golf kept boiling over the past year. Two of the game's biggest names, Tiger Woods and Rory Mcilroy, stepped up as key voices for the PGA Tour and Commissioner Jay Monahan. Now picture the shock when players across both tours suddenly started finding out about their future like this. Shocking merger, and it turns out even the most prized stars and loudest backers of the PGA Tour were kept completely in the dark. Picture Tiger Woods sipping his morning coffee while scrolling the headlines, only to realize his tour just teamed up with its former enemy. The PGA Tour's surprise announcement to merge with the DP World Tour, and shockingly the upstart Liv Golf League, aimed to build a brand new commercial power meant to unify golf, instantly sent shockwaves across the entire world. Liv Golf is the league that has been flipping the sport upside down for over a year, and this move cranked everything up to another level. The merger will bring the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the money behind Liv, together to combine their commercial muscle into one. The PGA Tour brings its marketing muscle, the DP World Tour brings global flavor, and the PIF brings deep pockets. No secret there. It's a wild blend of talent, reach, and serious money crashing together to shake up the golf world fast. The PGA Tour will still operate as a 501c6 tax-exempt body, but this newly formed, jointly owned, still unnamed entity will run as a for-profit powerhouse. This merger also officially shuts down the legal war between the PGA Tour and Liv Golf. And that's not even the biggest twist. The real headline for many is that Liv players now have a path to reapply for PGA Tour or DP World Tour membership next season, which is huge news. Jay Monahan, the PGA Tour commissioner, addressed it all during a players-only meeting in early June at Oakdale Golf and Country Club in Toronto, host of the RBC Canadian Open, then stepped out to face the media right after. Jay Monahan stood in front of the players knowing this wasn't just another meeting, it was damage control time. Faces in the room were tight, arms crossed, trust shaken. Players wanted answers, and fast, about who knew what and when. Monahan admitted the secrecy stung, but claimed it was the only way talks could survive without blowing up early. Behind the scenes, tensions were already sky high. Some players felt blindsided, others straight up betrayed. The message was clear: this merger wasn't built with full transparency, and that silence left scars that won't fade overnight. Rory Mcilroy didn't hide his frustration, and his reaction said more than any press quote ever could. He'd been one of the loudest voices defending the PGA Tour, taking heat publicly while fighting Liv's influence. Finding out this way hit different, like the rug got yanked from under him without warning. Tiger Woods, usually calm and controlled, was reportedly just as stunned. This was a move that flipped everything he'd stood for during the battle, and it landed without so much as a phone call. For two leaders who carried the tour's shield, the silence spoke loud. Now the big question is trust, and whether it can actually be rebuilt. Players are weighing loyalty against opportunity, and the lines are getting blurry fast. With lawsuits gone, doors reopening, and money flowing freely, the power balance in golf just shifted hard. What started as a bitter war has turned into an uneasy alliance, and not everyone is comfortable with that. The future of the game is being rewritten in real time, and every player, fan, and sponsor is watching closely. He said that over the last 7 weeks, talks around the deal were already rolling non-stop. That included 4 face-to-face meetings, plus multiple video calls and phone check-ins behind closed doors. Players like two-time major champ Collin Morikawa, along with several others, openly vented their frustration after learning about the deal through social media, and somehow even golf's top names weren't looped in. It later came out that Tiger Woods and Rory Mcilroy also had no idea this was happening, which instantly raised eyebrows everywhere. And it should have. Both Woods and Mcilroy stood tall as hardcore PGA Tour defenders during the Liv Golf showdown, even after monster offers were on the table. Woods stayed loyal despite an eye-watering $650 million package from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, while Mcilroy flat-out rejected $400 million to jump sides. Both players turned down those jaw-dropping sums while also carrying the PGA Tour's message, speaking out hard against Liv's aggressive takeover. After the merger bomb dropped, it's tough not to feel like Mcilroy and Woods' loyalty suddenly looks thankless. They stood their ground, took the heat, and now the game flipped anyway. According to Monahan, players like Woods and Mcilroy will be rewarded for their stance, but nobody knows what that really means yet. Roy and Tiger are clearly hoping it's something solid, not just words. Neither man went deep when the shocking news broke, but Mcilroy did say he stepped away from the debate and that the merger doesn't change how he feels about Liv. The Irishman didn't say much publicly, but you could feel the frustration after being blindsided like that. And Rory and Tiger weren't even the only top names heated about learning everything from social media, instead of a straight official message. Several players spoke up, mad that the tour they backed, defended, and chose over personal profit suddenly opened the door to billions from Saudi Arabia. No matter which side you're on, it's hard to fully defend the PGA here. This merger now sets the stage for LIV Rebels to stroll back into traditional tours already loaded, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Jay Monahan admitted the players' meeting was tense and explosive, exactly what you'd expect. Now the commissioner is catching heavy criticism for hypocrisy, as many see the DP World Tour deal as Saudi-backed control creeping across the global golf scene. Before now, Monahan blasted the morality of taking Saudi money and even pointed to the kingdom's links to 9/11, and those words are now circling back hard. Knowing the heat was coming, Monahan said after the merger news, "I understand that I'm going to be called a hypocrite by people, putting it all out there." He added, "Anytime I said anything, I said it based on the knowledge I had at the time," explaining it was said while defending the PGA Tour and its players. He followed with, "I accept those criticisms, but circumstances do change," saying the big picture view is what pushed everything to this point. He insisted the decision came from pressure, competition, and shifting realities at the top. That explanation didn't calm the storm one bit. For many players and fans, Monahan's words sounded like damage control, not accountability. The same man who once drew hard moral lines suddenly shifted when the money and pressure stacked up. That flip left a sour taste, especially for players who stuck their necks out defending the tour in public. Behind closed doors, trust took a real hit. Players started questioning who really has a seat at the table, and who's just expected to fall in line. When leadership talks one way and moves another, confidence cracks fast, and this moment exposed just how fragile that bond really is. Now the PGA Tour faces a new problem it can't spin away. Loyalty no longer feels rewarded, and silence feels like strategy instead of respect. Players are watching closely, wondering if standing firm actually matters anymore in this new era of golf. This merger didn't just change the business side of the game, it shook the locker room energy too. With power shifting, money flowing, and old rivals suddenly aligned, the future feels wide open and uneasy at the same time. One thing's clear though, golf will never look the same after this move. That explanation doesn't sound like much of an excuse, especially if you step into the shoes of Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. Both men turned down contracts worth hundreds of millions from LIV Golf just to stay loyal to the PGA Tour, and now this drops. Woods still hasn't spoken publicly, but McElroy finally broke his silence on Wednesday. Rory said he received a text Monday night from Jimmy Dunn, a PGA Tour policy board member, asking if they could talk in the morning. Dunn called him Tuesday around 6:30 a.m., barely 2 hours before the news exploded, and walked him through the deal structure. McElroy admitted he knew background talks existed, but it definitely didn't sound like he was part of them at all. "So yeah, I found out pretty much when everyone else did," Rory said Wednesday, making it clear the whole thing caught him off guard. He admitted it was a real surprise, not some slow leak he saw coming. Meanwhile, Monahan got pressed hard on whether he regretted not looping in players like Woods and McElroy before locking in the deal, and his answer was wrapped in heavy legal talk. Monahan explained that the merger's framework agreement still had major binding pieces not fully locked down. He said if a finalized deal had been announced that morning and he'd called players right after, he would have been making promises on behalf of the PGA Tour without properly vetting them with the policy board and the larger leadership group, including those two. Then that would be a complete failure on my part, and I am aware of that, Monahan admitted, owning the moment outright. He followed up by saying this was just a framework agreement they had reached, stressing it wasn't fully locked yet. He added, "We consider it to be the best arrangement," while making it clear Tiger and Rory's perspective stayed front of mind through every step. Monahan went on saying, "Obviously Tiger and Rory's point of view is one that I understand very well," and claimed it shaped his thinking then and will continue to now that the framework is in place. He said he looks forward to speaking with all players, including both of them, to make sure this lands the right way. And let's be real, a lot of eyes are on how the PGA repays that loyalty, especially Rory McIlroy, who became the lone loud voice for the tour late in the fight. That pressure showed, and everyone could see it start to hit his game hard. Rory carried that weight publicly, and it wasn't light at all. While others stayed quiet, he kept stepping up, answering tough questions, taking hits from fans, and standing firm for the PGA Tour. That kind of pressure doesn't disappear when you tee it up, and you could see it start creeping into his play and body language. Instead of focusing only on winning, Rory became the face of a war he didn't start but had to defend. Every press conference turned into a battle, every quote dissected, every move judged. That's a heavy role for any player, no matter how strong their mindset is. Now the spotlight shifts to what happens next. Will the PGA Tour actually make things right, or will this all get brushed off with handshakes and promises? Players are watching closely, especially those who stayed loyal when it cost them real money and real peace. This merger didn't just redraw contracts, it exposed cracks in leadership and trust. How those cracks get sealed will shape the future of the tour for years to come. One thing's for sure, the fallout from this deal is far from over, and the golf world is locked in watching every move. If you love the untold stories and real drama in golf, make sure you subscribe to Golf Mode TV, because we bring the inside scoop every single week. Rory's performances clearly dipped, and after missing the cut at the Players' Championship, even he couldn't deny it anymore. He admitted he just wanted to get back to being a golfer, nothing else. And technically he got his wish, because the saga is basically over now, but not in the way Rory or Tiger Woods ever imagined or hoped it would end. What stings the most is how fast the narrative flipped. Rory and Tiger stood firm when the pressure was wild, and now the dust settles without the ending they fought for. The war ended, sure, but the terms weren't written by the guys who took the biggest hits. For players who chose principle over payday, this ending feels messy. The silence, the timing, the late-night calls, it all adds up to a moment that still doesn't sit right with a lot of people inside the locker room. Now the tour moves forward, but the memory of this blindside isn't fading anytime soon. Players are rethinking loyalty, influence, and who really gets heard when deals get done at the top. Trust isn't rebuilt with press releases, it's rebuilt with actions. Every future decision will now be viewed through this lens. Who's in the loop, who's left guessing, and who's expected to just fall in line? That tension is still there, even if the headlines have cooled off. For Rory and Tiger, the focus shifts back to golf, but the scar from this moment lingers. They defended the shield, spoke up when others stayed quiet, and paid a price that wasn't small. That kind of sacrifice doesn't disappear overnight. The saga may be closing, but the lessons from it will echo for years. And whether the PGA Tour fully owns that or not, the players and fans won't forget how this all went down.